Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. As you see, it's a bright sunny day here where I'm at. I'm in the Atlanta area in Georgia. Yep. See the sun like boom shining on my face. And I am walking dogs. Let me straighten up my hat there. I don't know, you can't see my eyes. The sun is like, yeah, but I'm here. All right. And I'm here with, tell you who I'm here with. Charlie, he's been excited this morning. I don't know why he's so excited. And Biscuit, always calm, cool, collected, doing her thing, But Charlie, he trying to find something. He's like, well, there's something going on. I gotta get to it. See how he's pulling. Anyway, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm here and all is well, Hey, like and subscribe my videos. I bring you a few interesting content things. Today we're going to talk about planning. And sometimes we have to understand what does planning even mean, and so we've got to plan. Planning is important. And that's our topic as we walk dogs and talk about planning. Yeah. So what is planning? Planning is, let me give you an HB definition. You can look it up in the dictionary. But the reference that I'm going to be referring to will be on a HB discussion and method. So I'm going to give you a definition of what planning is. Planning is organized thoughts that are able to be implemented for an objective or a goal. How does that sound? All right. So organized thought. You have an idea, right? So with that idea, you, for example, last night I had a conversation with my wife, and she said, I have an idea about setting up a portable desk. Folks during the COVID period, they have their kids at home, and it'd be good to set it up. I said, then she started talking. And she was just kind of brainstorming. So the first part of planning is brainstorming. So, my neighbor tree fell down. So, hey, that tree fell last night? Man, wow. Almost took down. Well, good thing it wasn't close to the house. Anyway, so again, planning, organizing your thoughts into actionable steps, preferably in a sequence that you can manage and develop, right? So I said, okay, babe, let me. So immediately, because I've been thinking about doing a planning video, walk and talk. So immediately I said, okay, let me do this. So I grabbed some paper and a pencil, and as she was talking, I wrote down her brainstorm. Right? I wrote down her brainstorm. Hey, yeah. So as she was talking, I sat at the table and said, okay, I probably should have videotaped me doing that, but then you would have a better kind of look. But anyway, I wrote down the things that she was saying, and then, so that's after brainstorm, you organize the thoughts. Now, a lot of times, believe it or not, that initial brainstorm is, I call it the downloading process, where you just basically download what's on your mind, what the idea is. Just download it. Get a paper, take out your phone and talk to yourself about the idea. So once you've brainstormed it and organized it, next step is to organize it. So you write it down, you get it, look at it. Now, say it's a plan I've got a plan to go to Africa, all right? Yeah. HB want to hit the motherland. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I want to be there. I don't know if Charlie's gonna be able to. He would love it though. Imagine Charlie walking on them, in that environment. Biscuit. But something about my dogs. They don't like driving in cars. They'll go bananas. Okay, they'll walk, they'll run, but man, coming out and going into the car. Oh no, they're not about that. Yeah, we're walking down by the lake. So organize your thoughts first thing by brainstorming and then writing them down. Write down your brainstorm. That's HB called download. Basically, you download in your brain and get those thoughts, on paper. Come on, Biscuit. Come on. We're going down to the lake. Come on. Oh, there she go. All right. And Charlie, he's excited. He loves down here. Okay. And so organize your thoughts. Get them on paper by downloading. Now, once they get downloaded, so if we go back to the example that my wife had, and so I said, all right. So then, for me, using my skills, I said, well, I'm going to create that picture. Okay? I'm going to create that picture of what it looks like. So based on what she was showing, I developed an image for her to look at. And she's like, oh, yeah. And then I said to her, well, actually, I didn't show it to her yet. I said to her, here's some paper. Let's sit down and show me what you're talking about. So then she started drawing and, started adding. So we'll label it, she labeled what's on her classroom setup. And isn't this beautiful though? Check this out. Charlie, he just loved this environment. Hey, Charlie, he's shaking. Anyway, so obviously, depending on what you're planning or what your idea is, planning for it becomes more detailed. So because she was just brainstorming this thing, I said, no, let's just go through a process. So later on, we looked at, okay, that's what it looks like. Well, let's talk about the materials. Then you go into materials or the needs. What does the ideas or the steps that you came up with, what are the needs? So then you kind of get a list of, okay, what would you need to accomplish this idea, or what are the things that you'd have to do, what are things that you have to buy, what things you have to set up, what are some things you can do yourself or you have to, ask someone else to do. And so as you continue your planning on developing your idea, all these things are things to consider. Okay? All right. So now you brainstormed, you wrote down the things that you're interested in, you created a picture of what that thing would look like, and if you're not a good artist, I'm pretty good at that stuff. Do stick figures, do just sketches. Just do something that what you're looking at, okay? Because I've seen some folks put down some stuff. I'm like, what is this? Is that a man walking down a hill? No, it's my, I'm like, well, okay, I can see that now. If you're like that, what you're looking at, okay? Anyway, and today, if you choose to do this on the computer, you can always Google your idea. Trust me, okay? Somebody out there, you're 9 times out of 10, you're not recreating the wheel, okay? You are not. You're people thought about a lot of stuff, and it's okay, because people always tell me, well, they already do that. So what? People still making new type of cars. How long cars been out? So if you come up with an idea, it doesn't matter. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, so you got your stuff together, you organized it, you got an image of what it looks like. This is just the planning stage, or first step in the planning stage, brainstorming and getting your ideas out of your head. So you can do these things. I would say everything that I'm saying, do it on separate sheets, like your brainstorm, your list of things, your materials. Do it on separate papers. Okay, for this example I was sharing with you, I used copy paper, so just like making notes on it, but keep it separate, and I'll tell you why. When you're developing your idea, you do want to make sure that when you go back to look at it, the thoughts are clear, okay, and the ideas and what you're looking at makes sense, okay? It's got to make sense to you always. I don't know, that just felt like it was going to be cool. In and out, back and forth. Yes, and that's part of planning. You go back and forth. And sometimes when you do this exercise that I'm telling you on planning, sometimes you're not going to even do it at this moment. You're just getting it out of your head, because we have so many ideas. What to do with your ideas. Plan them out. Okay? All right. So you grabbed some paper, you had an idea, you brainstormed them out with someone or yourself, and you made a list of, you got a picture of it, you got a list of things you might need for it. You get, write down some ideas of what you can do or how you can get it done. Okay? And we're still discussing planning. Yeah, we're just doing planning. And so, all right. And it doesn't matter who you are. I was just watching a video or a report about Luminaire or something like that. Company just IPO just went out. The kid, young man, he's 25 years old, just became a billionaire, I think last week, in one day. In one day. So he had an idea when he was 16, and he obviously followed some steps, or had a teacher or somebody encouraged him, or a parent. He said his parent was always, go for it, so he was into coding. He had an idea that he could help with cars that drive, automated cars, autonomous driving. So he felt like he could make an impact on that. And so what he did, he started working on it, So he was into coding and, I guess robotics and all that stuff. And his name was, you can look him up, Austin. Oh, dang. Austin. Gosh. What's that guy's name? I shared it with my class too. I'll remember his last name in a minute. Anyway, Austin was, so he developed this. And matter of fact, he was a smart kid. Looking at some of his background stuff, he said he memorized the periodic table at an early age, probably before he started school. So his parents definitely saw his talent and his gift and wanted to encourage him. So they gave him, challenges that he superseded in or prepared his mind to do this type of stuff. Which, hint, hint, to parents out there, check it out. Make sure that you're seeing the potential of your students and giving them an opportunity, or your child, and giving them an opportunity to expand themselves. Charlie won't look like he want to walk up in these woods. I ain't going up in the woods today, Charlie. Anyway, so that's something that you think about it, So they gave him kind of leadway. Seemed like they're, opportune family, privileged folks, but this doesn't matter. I don't think. I think it's just, allowing yourself to strategically develop your kids' minds. Just like how they, you take them out there in a heartbeat. I'm talking to my folks now. You'll take them out there in a heartbeat to practice basketball or football. Well, what about coding? What about coding? What about that math and, or just building stuff, and building small stuff, designing and building things, Anyway, Austin did a good job, and he's 25. He started when he was about 16, 17, and bam, he came up with I think with this project they were able to, so automated cars, one of the things is it's got to be aware of what's on the road or around, right? So the coding and the technology that he developed had to do with seeing everything and responding to it, the capability of responding to it for 250 meters. Okay? So, all right. Anyway, that was a sidebar to say that, look, you know what? It's not too late or too early to start developing your ideas. And, for me, here's what an HB principle is. If you develop that idea, it doesn't mean it has to be $1 million idea. But you know what? Get it out of your head. Organize it. Put it down. So anyway, me and my wife, we went through the brainstorming process, created a list of activities and things that we could do, and materials, how much the materials cost, how much the labor would cost, how much it would, how much time it would take to make, if it's something that you're making, or if it's coding that you're doing, So you develop that list and you put a price to it. So you get a good estimate of what it would cost to do. And, for this example, I did some research and, showed it to my wife on what people are selling similar items for. Because you don't want to be like, oh yeah, my idea is so great, man. Oh yeah, it is great, and I'm going to sell it for $20. I'm going to sell it for $50. Man, this is going to be worth $100. But then people out there selling for $5. Hey, that's real. So you got to make that as you develop your ideas, you are thinking it through. So now, the other part about it is, this is just planning, okay? You're not out there in the store doing anything yet. This is just like the first day, two, that you're just getting stuff out of your head. Well, so you got a product now, right? You brainstormed it. You looked at what you need. You looked at how you would get the stuff that you need. You look at what it would cost. Now you also research what the market is, how much people are selling it for. So then you'd probably have to make some adjustments, right? Make some adjustments to, if the materials that you were gonna buy was too expensive because you were thinking too high, you have to bring it down a little bit. Or if you were lowballing what you need, then you'd have to probably change change up that. All right? Okay. So now you've got a product. in your mind. This is all planning. It's in your mind. Okay? There's that cool car. Hey. So remember, we're just in our minds and we're getting it out of our minds. So now we're talking about marketing. Who's your customer? Who's your customer? Who are you selling it to people like Charlie? Charlie, you want to buy something? Charlie's like, man, I'll piss on it. Anyway, Charlie might need some hay to dig in. And Biscuit, they love digging in straw. So you might want to sell, ooh, that's a nice idea. Straw buckets for dogs to dig in. Hey, if you make $1 million on that, send me a little change, all right? So anyway, so now you got to think about who you're selling it to. So your marketing plan, where are these people at? Are you going to go internet marketing? Are you going to come back to just doing, hey, is it internet marketing that you're going to do? Or you're going to do door to door? Are you going to try to open a store? Or are you going to consignment, bringing it out there and giving it to vendors? You're going to call neighbors, friends, whatever you're going to do. You got to come up with your marketing plan. Okay? Now, something else that when you're thinking about a plan with a product, right? Because there's a different type of plan. You can plan for vacation. You can plan to, redecorate your house, plan to paint your house. You can plan to do a whole lot of stuff. Plan to go out to cut the yard. Plan to go visit people. Plan, to do homework. Plan to go to college. There's a lot of plans. We're just using this example because I just did it yesterday with me and my wife. So your marketing plan, your price point, do the research on that and see if you can do it, Then after you market it, how are you going to collect the money? A plan for that too. So some people are like, yeah, I'm going to sell it. Well, how are you going to collect the money? How are you going to make sure that the product is properly, taxed? Now, are you going to ship it? How are you going to ship it? How's the customer going to get the product if you don't have a store? So several things that, come here, Charlie. All right. So, yeah, dog came out where the tree fell. There's a little loose dog there, so I know Charlie was gonna get excited. So he's going down the road. We're gonna make sure that they don't interact. Look at Charlie. He's like, oh yeah, let me go see what's going on here. Yeah. So anyway, the dog's over on that side. We're just gonna walk this way. Come on, Charlie. We're gonna go down that road, but come on. He want him. Nope, Charlie. No. Look at him. Forget about him. Okay. He's like, man, you should let me go. Chill out, buddy. Anyway, so you're marketing the stuff. How are you gonna collect payments? You got to think about that too. How are you gonna collect payments? Are you gonna do PayPal? Are you gonna open up an online store? How are you gonna pay your taxes? How are you gonna get? How are you gonna keep up with your money? What type of bank account? Are you gonna have a business account? Are you gonna, so walking dogs and talking. We're just walking and talking. Walking dogs. Charlie and Biscuit. All right. So again, we'll go through our steps. You brainstorm, come up with your list. You get a picture. You get your plans and materials, the cost of your materials, how much, how are you gonna do it yourself? Are you gonna have somebody do it for you? All that. You go through all of that. Come up with your marketing. How you gonna market it? Now, something that you need to realize. You did not leave your house yet. You didn't buy anything yet, okay? All of this is called planning. Okay? Didn't cost you nothing but time, brain power, and just, being in a place for yourself. Okay? Where you're trying to understand what you're actually doing. That's what the planning is all about. So, hey, like and subscribe the video. I didn't say that for a minute. I like planning. Worked as a city planner for recreation activities and cultural activities. I actually had a Ashanti Hemi, or what do they call it? Well, basically the Ashanti King visited my town one time. Yeah. Another story. Anyway, so once you've gotten to this place where you realize, okay, how you gonna get your products sold? How you gonna collect your money? How you gonna pay your taxes? How you gonna keep up with your inventory? Yep, inventory management is a big thing. Are you gonna actually build as you go, or are you going to buy all this product and then hope to sell it? My advice is you make as you get orders, depending on your product. Some products take so long to make, but if you're just doing a brainstorm idea project like the one that we're talking about, you make it as you go. Now, if based on how much your orders are coming in, and depending on what the orders are, have a good leadway of time to your customer. Everybody expects things in today. Yeah, Amazon Prime do that 24-hour thing, but they got that thing packed up. So expectation is right now, I think, like a week. If you get a product to a person in a week, they're happy, unless they pay some extra, overnight shipping thing, which most people are like, unless it's an emergency, right? So it gets, so a week is a good idea, but you put that in your plan too, how much you would cost for shipping, how are you going to set up your shipping thing, the other thing is, now if you're going to ship, you got to set up something with the post office, UPS, or with FedEx or somebody, so you can get the products out. So this is all planning. HB just going through a few things that you could do when you have your ideas. Hopefully this was helpful to you. Get yourself organized. We're coming up on about 30 minutes discussing this, but look, some people pay thousands of dollars to take a course to go through what I just showed you. Shoot, my student loan bill is big. And as an industrial engineer, that's part of one of the courses that we took. I'm sure it wasn't a free YouTube video that I paid for. Anyway, years of experience and just planning. But so you can apply this to anything. Okay, I'd use an example of one that was fresh idea. And what did we do with it? Well, I told my wife, look, whatever you want to do, here's the start of the plan. Here, we had about 4 pages of stuff that's brainstormed, outlines. Don't get twisted with, oh man, I ain't got no time to write down all that and build those charts. Nah, man, just download your brain so that, and then I just paper clipped it and put it on the shelf. So now, if she does want to pursue this idea, she can just go ahead and pull it off and say, okay, let's see where we stopped. And maybe add to it, until the time is right. It might never be right. But guess what? It's okay. I think it's okay to get things out of your head, put it on paper, because you know what? This is a little HB thing too, and I'll be like, well, that ain't put no money in my pocket. Well, that's fine, but you know what? Just seeing the vision, your vision of what could be, is exciting. it's exciting and it's good. It's a good thing to do, from my perspective. It's a really good thing to do. You know, right? You know, that's Charlie and Biscuit getting excited about. Oh, I think that I don't know if you can see it on top of that house. Scavenger bird, big black scavenger bird. I guess some roadkill or something was right here. Keep the dogs away from us. See him flying on top of the house over there. But there's a, oh yeah, there's a roadkill. Up, up, get away from it, Charlie. Yeah. What does that look like? Like some type of rodent. You gotta watch out. Biscuit and Charlie, they'll eat stuff and then they get sick. They'll take a, especially Biscuit. She'll take a bite out of anything. And then she'll be like, oh, trying to cough it up. Where you going, Charlie? Anyway, beautiful day, man. Look at that sky. Whew. You know, I don't know about y'all. We talked about planning, and this, you know, and sometimes you do stuff that you have to plan on the fly. But when you have a planning mindset, you know, wow, this is so beautiful. Look at the skyline. That skyline is so beautiful. Wow. See that, Charlie? See that, Biscuit? Biscuit, like, yeah. Wow. Beautiful skyline. Anyway, when you have to plan on the fly, if your brain is wired, if you train your brain to write out plans, you know, whenever you have an idea, write it out. You know, just get some paper and just put down as much notes as you can about some of the things that we talked about, you know, from marketing to materials to costs to, you know. So what will happen is it'll be so much a part of your, like, the way you focus, that when you have to do it on the fly, it's like boom, 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 you get it done. You know, me and my wife, you know, people always get impressed because if we're in a situation, and we both are teachers, we're in a situation where it calls for quick, immediate, you know, put something together, you know, and we're like, look at each other and, you know, boom, 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 we kind of get through it, like, and then inadvertently the people will be like, oh man, how did y'all do this? We would never got in the folks' bushes. We would have never done this without y'all. And I was like, well, you know, it comes back to, you know, the years of experiencing and planning that we've always done things, you know. All right. Anyway, so I'm not saying that we're experts. Get paid. I do get paid. We do have to plan lesson plans every day. So teachers, you know, teachers know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we get your plans out of your head. You know, get your plans out of your head, put it on paper. You never know. You know, take this advice from HB. Yep. And, you know, hopefully this was helpful to you. Hope you enjoyed walking in the neighborhood. Saw a little stray dog and all that stuff. Got a little touchy there with Charlie trying to chase him.